So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. He completes it to Boyd. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Rankins with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Marcus Sherrills deep for the Saints. Pulled in at the 24. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards.
Let me see that bitch again.
Then I'll show y'all what it's looking like when it gets to like really doing its thing. All right, as y'all can see now, I'm just giving these a little pause, a flip.
Ooh, ah. Got them all going. Cut that crease right there.
So we are just going to let these continue to cook and show you.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. To throw is Breeze. This is caught by Gill. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ted Ginn, 53 yards. And the Saints have taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. All right, let's focus now on Giovanni Bernard. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
That did it.
75 yards as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Extra point up and good by Bullock. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. That run's successful in large part because they had a lot of extra help blocking up front.
Yeah, you've got guys who can do that very, very well. In addition, they can catch the football. So sometimes when they line up with 3 tight ends, it's not necessarily to run it, and that gives you an advantage when you do decide to barrel off the line of scrimmage and block people downfield.
Now Kamara, and that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Breeze to throw. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 39.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. On the ground, Kamara. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he slings one that's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 21.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, Breeze. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Coverage there by the former first-round pick, William Jackson. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Now, Breeze again. Gets it to Meredith, complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a first down. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone. Because eventually, you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Drew Brees does it again. 3 first-half touchdown passes for him now, as his guys are able to regain the lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1 play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was really easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. Andy Dalton now, 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Throw from Dalton, taken in by Eifert. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. And Dalton to throw. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 43. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a stunt.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. The 40, 30, 10. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. Lutz will look to add the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And heading back out there, Giovanni Bernard getting ready to go again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
That's so educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Dalton. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by former first-round pick Patrick Robinson. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On the ground, this is Kamara. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Coverage there by the former first-round pick, William Jackson.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. Escaping the pressure right. Touchdown! And the New Orleans Saints put 6 up on the board. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. Lutz good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 24. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The tight end, C.J. Uzama, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. To throw here, Dalton. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. Now, Bengals on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. On the screen, Bernard. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion. And what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Here's Sherrills. 34 yards on the return, but for a moment looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10.
It's your tweet. It was an original tweet. It wasn't a response to somebody else.
Freeze. It wasn't a response to someone else. Right then, I knew he was lying. You can look at my face and watch what I say. Press play. No, what I'm saying is
ready. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. 2 minutes even on the clock in the first half of Super Bowl 54. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. From just shy of midfield, Breeze. Thomas has got it, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. The busy night continues for Kamara. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Breeze. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 14. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there, picking up the first down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Kamara. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Ready? You ready?
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. On 4th down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend the lead out to 24. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half, they'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. From the 30 on 2nd down, Dalton. He gets this one to Boyd. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Throwing, Dalton. Green brings it in. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports halftime. So the halftime show in the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in the Super Bowl. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Here's Dalton. Finding Green complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They look to throw on 3rd with Dalton. And Eifert has it. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Tyler Eifert, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. So he's hit pay dirt twice, but still they're facing that deficit here in the second half.
So they're going to see if they can continue to find ways to get him the football, because obviously something is working for him to find the end zone twice. In any event, however this turns out, he's going to be hard to deal with in the film room, isn't he? He's going to want to know why he's not getting more passes thrown to him.
Those big tight ends are getting greedy.
You know, sometimes the guy on the defensive side of the ball, he just has a good feeling or a good read, and he unleashed his defense on that one. Boy, they stopped him in a big way.
Yeah, I hate to be cliche, but sometimes we overanalyze. They just have more want. Looked like they had more want right there.
More want and more people to the ball.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Breeze. Throwing the comeback route. He's got the hook up to Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Breeze. Completes this one to Meredith.
I picked right.
Taking it across midfield and inside the 45. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. A give. This is Kamara. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
You ready?
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run out of the gun with Camara. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Well, from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing a no-hitter, gives up a hit late. You're so close to accomplishing everything you want and don't quite get it done. They'll come back with a vengeance on the next play.
He can say that. Of course, I wish I had the actual tweets in hand.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Breeze on the draw, gives to Camara. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This will be a 34-yard attempt.
Here's the issue that I have.
And Lutz's kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
He's got his man, Boyd. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again. Dalton. Got a man open. It's Ross. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Andy Dalton now, perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Damn.
So Dalton now got his man. It's Eifert. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A good pickup there at 22. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Bullet good on the extra point. And the lead will be cut down to 14. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25. Call it the 26-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
One play has him up past the 40.
As a consultant with News Nation when they first
Already
started.
at another 1st and 10. The play clock getting low, so Sean Payton says let's take a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Ready? 95-56.
From the gun, it's Breeze. Eluding the pressure right. And an alley to run. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They run it again with Kamara. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
95-56. 95-56. You.
And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout. And with that, they're down to 1 remaining here in this 2nd half.
Ready? You ready?
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. That's complete to Meredith. And he's taken down inside the 30. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 29-yard line. 1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
38 in the second.
Breeze now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Breeze. Again has it complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. 4 touchdown passes now for Drew Brees. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Lutz to try to add the PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Dalton here from the gun. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati 1st down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. A draw play. Bernard. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to face a 3rd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
9 yards that time. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Again, here's Bernard. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. And the Bengals on 3rd down. Can't fault these numbers, 7 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Dalton, and he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer.
Well, after another passing touchdown, I don't think it'd be an understatement to say that he's in the zone, and I believe he likes it.
Extra point up and good by Bullock, and the lead will be cut down to 14. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all, and it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go, baby.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
I'm future you, and I'm here to save money with Tella. That sounds amazing. No contracts, just flexible, prepaid plan for America's largest network.
Again, it's Kamara. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Some of y'all might say, man, we can talk about some other stuff. But I need everybody who's watching to understand why this matters.
The Saints on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 7. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one.
Kick catch interference. Kicking team.
A little too amped up there, got to him before he had a chance to catch it.
Another example of players in tough spots getting the protection that they deserve. Got to make sure that he's able to catch the ball before you get to him.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Now Dalton, and that's complete. It's Green here. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal 1st down. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 is.
You saw that play? No, I'm not. Matter of fact, see, if you want to do it, Michael, this is how we do it. 6-8. Well, you have Dan. And
They line
me.
up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Dalton. Open man is Ross, complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 19.
Out of time, bro. That's the time for the ball right here.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton.
Oh, got him. Run, bitch.
Intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Take him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And again this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
News Nation, or MSNBC, or CNN, or Fox News, or ABC, or NBC, or CBS.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They go with a fullback line, and he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
I know this game's winding down and people are getting tired, and that's when you really want a big body guy running the football. But I have to tell you, watching him run it, I wonder why they don't use it more earlier in the game.
Yeah, those bigger guys here late in the game, you're trying to protect the lead, usually not as fumble-prone either.
No, that is so true because they are taught, take care of the ball as you surge forward, and you often see them with both hands wrapped around it when they go through the line.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Breeze now to throw. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 45-yard line. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Breeze now. A perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Ready. 5-9.
A give to Kamara running right. They'll get only a couple down to the 44. The clock showing 2 minutes even in what's been a memorable Super Bowl 54. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. And Dalton to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Throwing. Dalton on the screen. Bernard. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. And it'll be Dalton again. And Eifert has it. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Passing, it's Dalton. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Dalton. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. From midfield here, Dalton.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well. But
a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Another chance for Dalton. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on 4th down. They'll try to pass on 4th down. Dalton. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11. And the Lombardi Trophy is headed back to the Bayou. The New Orleans Saints, Super Bowl champions. For the victors, getting to hoist that Lombardi Trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The journey to get to this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this game alone because there's nothing else going on, that's just got to be absolutely amazing. The task, incredible. But the accomplishment, forever.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year.
Oh,
holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gunn. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.
Ow!
black2thefuture.org. But some of the solutions people are talking about include weeding white nationalists out of federal and municipal law enforcement. Other solutions that people are putting forward is expanding the Civil Rights Division at the Department of Justice to be able to monitor, track, and hold accountable white nationalists and folks who are engaged in extremist violence. The other major issue that we're seeing that people want to see action on is voting rights and protecting existing rights and expanding those rights. In our Black Census survey, we are talking to more people than we do in our temperature check poll. Our temp check poll only talks to 1,000 Black folks every other month. This survey will talk to 200,000 Black people in all 50 states. And so it will give us a better sense of, you know, are there trends regionally? Are there other demographic trends inside of Black communities that we should be paying attention to? And more than that, it'll give us a sense of what's really going to motivate people to participate in the processes that are impacting and shaping our lives.
Restrooms slowing down your restaurant? Talk compressed refills save staff time. Better hygiene for better guest experience.
Dreams. Dreams keep us going. Dreams keep us growing. Dreams keep us thriving. Hancock Whitney, your dream, our mission.
When an insurance company or a big corporation says your injuries don't matter, what you went through does matter. We're here to provide a personalized approach and big firm results.
All right, Alicia, tell everybody where they can go to fill this Black Census out.
Please go to www.blackcensus.org to fill out the survey, and you can also share it with your friends and family. Again, we need 200,000 help us get out the word. And if you want to figure out and find out how to get involved with our organization, just visit blackfutureslab.org and sign up to get involved. We've got plenty for you to do.
All right, Alicia, I appreciate it. Thanks a bunch.
Thanks for having me.
All right, folks, got to go to a break. When we come back on Roland Martin Unfiltered, we'll talk about Vice President Kamala Harris going to Poland. Ryan Coogler got arrested for trying to withdraw his own money. Really, Bank of America? That's how y'all do it when I'm in Atlanta? Also, we'll talk to the CEO of Rap Snack who says, ladies, why y'all trying to fight for our look? We'll break that down as well. And we'll also got some headlines to share with you. Lots more to discuss right here on Roland Martin Unfiltered of the Black Star Network. Folks, don't forget you want to support us, what we do. I told you, those of you who support us on the air, you're going to get a personal shout out from me. Of course, when you give, again, every dollar you give makes it possible for us to do what we do. Anthony McCann, Amani Woods, thank you so very much. Joel Plum, I appreciate it as well. Thank you so very much for y'all's support. Let's see here. Andre Morgan, thank you as well for hooking us up on Zelle. Folks, again, if you want to support us and do what we do, please cash out $RM Unfiltered, PayPal R Martin Unfiltered, Zelle, RolandSMartin.com, RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Of course, you can send a money order and check to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037. Back in a moment.
Dr. Jackie Goodmartin, and I have a question for you. Ever feel as if your life is teetering and weight and pressure of the world is consistently on your shoulders? Well, let me tell you, living a balanced life isn't easy. Join me each Tuesday on Black Star Network for A Balanced Life with Dr. Jackie. We'll laugh together, cry together, pull ourselves together, and cheer each other on. So join me for new shows each Tuesday on Black Star Network, A Balanced Life with Dr. Jackie.
We're all impacted by the culture, whether we know it or not. From politics to music and entertainment is a huge part of our lives, and we're going to talk about it every day right here on The Culture with me, Faraji Muhammad, only on the Black Star Network.
Black TV does matter, dang it.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Jacob Lattimore, and you're now watching Roland Martin right now.
Joseph Johnson was last seen in Brainerd, Minnesota on February 28th. 13-year-old is 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighs 135 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. Any more information regarding Joseph Johnson's whereabouts, please call the Brainerd, Minnesota Police Department at 218-829-2805, 218-829-2805. Vice President Kamala Harris is in Poland right now to talk about the Russia-Ukraine invasion. She tweeted this upon her arrival. I am en route to Warsaw, Poland, and later this week to Bucharest, Romania. This trip comes at an important moment as the United States continues to demonstrate unity with our NATO allies and provide support to the people of Ukraine in response to Putin's invasion of Ukraine. The U.S. rejected Poland's plans to make fighter jets available for Ukraine. Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby called the proposal too risky as the U.S. and NATO countries try to avoid a direct conflict with Russia. And what's more interesting is you have all these conservatives who are attacking Vice President Kamala Harris. Yeah, of course, Meghan McCain tweets something stupid saying, send a more experienced diplomat to negotiate on America's behalf. She's the vice president. And I tweeted back at Meghan, you really shouldn't be talking about vice president considering your daddy, John McCain, picked Sarah Palin as his VP. Yeah, Sarah Palin, I can see Russia from my porch. And also, you have this on Fox News where Greg Gutfield, who just makes a continuous ass out of himself, he said this BS.
To Geraldo's point, that this is not a discussion we should be having with the world about like how this all went down, but I think it was because the polls tried to force the White House's hand on it, and now she has to go over there and try to clean it up. I don't know if it can be.
Yep. Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, I wonder how her laugh translates in Polish.
That's mean.
It is mean, and I'm going to get meaner. She is supposed to be delivering a 3-part message.
That's right.
It's like a book report, I imagine. Part 1 is the intro. Part 2 is root causes, and Part 3 is the index. Right? This is the first time I've seen virtue signaling as foreign policy. Right? They are just sending her there to send her there, and it replaces actual real progress or action. That's the problem with virtue signaling in general. People go on Twitter, they type something, and they instead of actually doing something. So this is exactly like that. I go back to the crazy idea of the mediation. Why not do an audacious diplomatic act where you send people of actual grand substance? 2 American presidents, Obama and Bush, or Obama and Trump. What a road picture that would be.
Yeah.
And they go and they meet with these 2 guys. And what that does is it solves some issues. You might get a ceasefire out of it. You give the proper deference even to the madman or the evil man, and you might actually get somewhere. This is just, as I think it was used, it's a kind of a slap in the face. You're sending the least qualified vice president ever to do something in the first ground war that we've seen in Europe in decades, and this is how we respond. This is pure virtue signaling, meaning it's entirely worthless.
I just think we should get Obama and Trump on the same plane together just to do that.
Yes. This is the wackiest idea I've ever come up with.
That's the dumbest damn idea you ever heard in your life. Robert, it's interesting to listen to these fools. You had like Ben Shapiro, who a couple of weeks ago was saying, stop Russian oil from being imported. And now when Biden has done it, now going, he's only doing it to avoid getting blamed for gas prices. These people are sheer idiots who listen to conservative talk radio and conservative news.
But, it's entertaining because somehow Kamala Harris as a senator will be less qualified than the host of The Apprentice to go negotiate us out of World War III. I mean, what are these people talking about? The guy who bankrupted casinos is supposed to all of a sudden be a foreign policy expert. And let's look at the facts. Donald Trump's first big scandal was because he was sold out to the Russians. His second big scandal was because he was sold out to the Ukrainians. So why would we ever trust anybody even within that orbit to have anything to do with this conversation? We have video after video. President Trump in Helsinki prostrating himself to Putin, saying he trusted him over the intelligence agencies. So these folks have absolutely no area to talk. They fomented this crisis over the course of the last 4 years and then dumped it again on Biden's lap.
And Kelly, seriously, I got a radical idea. Let's send Obama and Trump. No. I'm sorry. We can do probably better by sending, Wayne's World, okay, as opposed to Donald Trump.
I mean, I'm a better choice than Donald Trump. Everybody on this panel is a better choice than Donald Trump. But to, again, just diminish and dilute the power of a black woman in the second most powerful seat in the nation, just because you're salty that it's not you, it's rich. If anything, just by way of her record and her career up until this point, Kamala Harris might actually be the most qualified vice president we've ever had in the history of this country. Her being a black woman is just another compliment on top of that, as far as I'm concerned. She was born into that. So, meanwhile, this man has, I don't even know his name, all he News, which more or less is a farce of a news show, news network in the first place. I, ascribe to the saying, I ignore ignorance. That's exactly what I do when I see clips like this regarding
Jerry Lane Buick GMC, the #1 Buick GMC dealership in Louisiana, is offering outstanding savings on the state's largest inventory of Sierras, like select new 25 Sierra 1500s, up to $12,950 off MSRP at Jerry Lane Buick GMC.
like this regarding the Vice President of the United States or any powerful black person who this white man could never.
And Lauren, it's amazing listening to some of these fools who clearly have never read anything. First of all, NATO is an alliance. And the way it goes, if a NATO country is attacked, then all are attacked. So the reason they said no to Poland is because if Poland sends Polish planes for Ukraine, that means NATO is now fighting Russia. If NATO is now fighting Russia, the United States is fighting Russia. And this is, again, clearly none of these people paid any attention to government class growing up.
Roland, and even if they did pay attention to government class growing up, it doesn't matter. The reason that they're attacking Kamala Harris is that they are scared of Kamala Harris. And if you notice...
Okay, hold on, y'all. It's Kamala. You and Robert said Kamala. It's Kamala. Her name is Kamala. Okay, go ahead. Thank you.
Okay.
And it's Vice President Kamala Harris. It's Kamala.
You learned that on the plane.
No. I've known it for a long time. It ain't Kamala. It ain't Camila. It's Kamala.
Okay, I got it. It's Kamala. Okay. So the reason that they're attacking her is they're afraid of her. You'll notice that the stupider the people are, the more the attacks, the Greg Gutfelds, Tucker Carlsons, because they can never be her. If she retired tomorrow, they still would never do more than what she's done already in her career. She was the AG of California, and then she was a U.S. Senator from California. Now she's the Vice President of the United States. And they know there's probably going to be some sort of inter-family discussion in the Democratic Party as to whether or not Joe Biden is going to go again. Obviously, he probably will. But, there's a chance that it could be her in 2 years. You never know. And even if it isn't, there's a chance that it could be her in 6 years. They know that. So every move that she makes, everything that she does, they criticize no matter what. It is jealousy. It is trifling. It is embarrassing. And they'll never be where she is in the spaces that she's been in. It kind of reminds me, I forget whether it was Serena or Venus Williams, but I think it was Serena. They had a press conference and, finally, she did an interview where she basically said, look, these dumb questions that I get from reporters, I realize I'm answering questions from people who can never do what I've done in my life already, can never achieve what I've achieved. That's the position that Kamala Harris is and Ketanji Brown Jackson are in. They're constantly having to deal with people who are never going to do the things that they have done, and they know it. And they're ticked off. They're pissed off. They're jealous. And so it's interesting to watch because, to Kelly's point, the stupidity of what we just watched over the last 4 years, we just had the stupidest president in American history in that White House for 4 years. This is the guy that got up in front of everybody and told people to inject disinfectant into their veins for COVID. He's an idiot. And so none of them can speak to intelligence one way or the other. But for them to defend that, ignore it, and then criticize Kamala Harris is outrageous and embarrassing and stupid. Deep down they know it when they go to bed at night and stare into the darkness. They know that this is all nonsense. But what they're really afraid of is her becoming president of the United States.
Oh,
It's the caucasity.
Yeah, man, and that's all it is. And again, you sit here and you keep seeing the craziness as well. And then also, people, can y'all stop finding this silly stuff? Cheryl Lee on YouTube just said Kamala Harris incarcerated more black men than all previous attorney generals in California. Y'all, you're the victim of a Russian troll farm. I mean, my goodness. Again, it's amazing what happens when I see folks who lay that out and who go here, not even understanding that California had a three strikes law, meaning it was passed by the legislature. So it's a little hard to get around the law when you're the attorney general because you kind of got to enforce the law. So you might want to actually change the law. So I'm just saying, folks might want to just look at those particular facts. All right, y'all. So let's talk about, first of all, I'm going to do this let's talk about business, and that is Lay's. Not, it doesn't potato chips, but, you know, when you're out there marketing, when you're out there trying to sit here and get your thing going, then you could also walk into a little fundamental problem. Well, my next guest says that Lay's is infringing upon their look. So, Rap Snacks, they say that it's amazing how similar Lay's is copying their style, if you will. And so let's break this thing out. Of course, this is the bag right here where they're honoring Argentinian soccer player Lionel Messi. And of course, they look really similar to Rap Snacks Rap Icons series. And so joining us right now is the founder and CEO of Rap Snacks, James Lindsay, joining us from Miami. All right, James. So, what's up? So you're saying that Lay's, y'all couldn't get creative? You took out. You really think that they're taking the style from Rap Snacks?
Well, let me first and foremost say this, Roland. We didn't know anything about what they were doing until our consumers actually talked about it on Twitter. And when we started to look at it, we really said, wow, this is pretty similar to what we're actually doing in the marketplace. And this is not new. I mean, anytime that you have a company like Rap Snacks who is really disruptive to the marketplace, you're going to have these major companies that are going to try to really bite, the image and the style, from your packaging as well as flavor profiles. But it's very similar, and we think so.
All right. So, so here's the tweet. So go ahead and pull it up, y'all. Here is the tweet that he says here. A lot of y'all have tagged me, the bag on the right, asking if we can laugh or if I'm consulting or working with him. The answer to both is no. The bag on the left are my Rap Snacks Icon series, designed featuring Biggie, Master P, and Snoop. The right is their GOAT edition. Have y'all reached out to Lay's to say, hey, what up?
Not at all, Roland. I mean, we know what's going on. Like I said, the Rap Snacks is a disruptive brand. We are innovative. We're definitely doing very well in the marketplace, and we know that they're going to protect their market share any way they can. So we're prepared and we're ready to move forward with, some of the things that we're doing to keep innovating the marketplace.
And so no challenge to them, no cease and desist. You're just saying, hey, we see it, but we're just going to keep moving.
Yeah, we're going to keep moving because, when you're very successful and you have somebody, as a giant, brand that they are, copying you, it tells you that you're doing something right. So we're going to keep doing what we do right, keep moving forward, and we'll see what happens in the future.
First of all, in terms of Rap Snacks, how are you guys doing? In terms across the country, how are your sales going?
The sales are going phenomenal. We're growing leaps and bounds every year. Like I said, people are enjoying our brand. They're particularly enjoying, the flavor profiles and really, the supporting difference of what we're doing every day. And we're bringing, something to the market that hasn't really been done. It's a contrast to what our black imagery has been, for years, where you talk about the Aunt Jemimas and Uncle Ben's, which is really a mockery, of our race. We're doing something that, people can look up to and say, hey, we're actually promoting, this artists who are really great business people, and we're creating, role models in the next segment of branding that will come right behind us.
One of our YouTube folks said, wait a minute, I thought Master P owned Rap Snacks.
Master P is a partner with Rap Snacks, but James Lindsay, which, I started the brand, I own the brand, he's a partner with our brand.
And how many states, how many stores you guys are now in?
We're in every store you can name. We're in Walmart, we're in Target, we're in most of the convenience store chains around the country. Like I said, although we're growing, very fast, and this situation is really just telling us that we're headed in the right direction.
All right, James Lindsay, Rap Snacks, I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you.
All right, folks, we come back. More of Roland Martin Unfiltered right here on the Black Star News.
Make me feel so miserable.
Flonase relieves your worst allergy symptoms, so you can start feeling better the same day and save your relationship with nature. Flonase.
Cleaning slowing down your business. Talk cloths clean quicker to improve efficiency. Better hygiene for better productivity.
Like no business we know. Love it.
Best high concept sci-fi rigmarole in the universe is back. Rick and Morty Season 8 premieres May 25th at 11 on Adult Swim. Get your mouth grounded.
Say hi. Say hi. Scratching on the side of the bottle.
They put 10 in here?
10, and you don't come out till you die. And you eat him, you eat him.
Oh my God. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Jacob Lattimore, and you're now watching Roland Martin right now.
All right, folks, part two of our Trip to Ghana, 2019, the gift return, will air at 8 p.m. Eastern on Friday, right here on the Black Star Network. So you don't want to miss that. It was an amazing first part last week, and so we cannot wait for you to see the second of our 10-part docuseries. Okay, folks, we go from Africa to Wakanda. Today in Atlanta, Black Panther director Ryan Coogler, who happens to be in Atlanta working on Black Panther 2, decided to go to Bank of America, and he wanted to withdraw $12,000. So he goes to the counter. He has a mask on. He hands the teller a note. I would like to withdraw $10,000 cash from my account. Put it back up, please. Put it back up. Thank you. I would like to withdraw $10,000 cash from my checking account. Then he says, of course, he wants the money to be counted elsewhere because I like to be discreet. Well, the person at the bank, y'all, thought Ryan was trying to rob the joint. So they called the cops. Cops come there, handcuff Ryan. Ryan had 2 or 3 of his associates outside, handcuffed them. Then the cop says, hey, BOA screwed up. This was on them. Explained to them, apologized, then released them. Coogler released a statement stating that BOA has reached out to him. It should not have happened. This is what Bank of America said. We deeply regret the incident, that this incident occurred. It never should have happened, and we have apologized to Mr. Coogler. Robert, the note said, I want to withdraw $12,000 from my checking account. How in the hell does that go? Hey, black man trying to rob the joint.
Look, this is part of being African American in this country, particularly being a black man, with the way that this country sees you. Let's understand, when we talk about white privilege, for some reason people think that we mean you don't, that just by being white things will be perfect for you. No, we're saying that very often you don't have experiences such as this. There isn't this presupposition or prejudice against you where they believe only the worst about you.
But this ain't white people. But the teller was black.
I understand that. What I'm saying is that it's so deeply entrenched in our culture, in our media, in the way that black men are seen in this country, that there is a presumption of criminality that takes place. I had a very similar experience like this happen to me when I was cashing a settlement check from a case for $100,000. The next thing I know, there's 4 police cars outside in Atlanta. So this is a systemic problem that we have within this country, where when they see a young African American male, the first thing they think is rapper, drug dealer, something criminal, until that you're a successful black man doing business the way you're supposed to do business.
Lauren Coogler said this should have never happened. Bank of America worked with me and addressed it to my satisfaction, and we have moved on. This took place on January 7th. And again, here's Coogler wearing a hat, sunglasses, and the COVID face mask. He goes to the counter, and it's clear. I mean, and he handed the teller a withdrawal slip. It's a withdrawal slip. That's what it's supposed to be. And I don't understand. I don't care if you're black or white. How your ass get confused when it says 12,000 cash from my checking account?
You get confused because you watch too many TV shows and have a wild imagination, and the person standing on the other side of the window is black. That's how you get confused. I mean, it's completely ridiculous, and I'm surprised that he hasn't sued their asses, quite frankly. I mean, there's no way that should happen.
So this is too funny here, Lauren. This is too funny. I'm reading the Variety story. The teller misinterpreted the situation as an attempted robbery when the amount of the transaction exceeded $10,000 and triggered an alert notification from Coogler's bank account. The teller then informed her boss that she suspected it was a robbery attempt, and together they called the police. Lauren, how hard is it to say, sir, could you please present your identification?
He probably presented it. I mean, most people, I had a large transaction about a year ago, and it wasn't a similar thing in terms of they called the cops, but at a bank involving a black person over $5,000 to $10,000 is cause for alarm, apparently. I had a transaction that involved a check on the sale of property. So it was a fairly large check, and the bank tried to freeze the money for 2 weeks. They just invented that rule for me. Walking into the bank, I said, we're not freezing the money for 2 weeks. What are you talking about? It was just crazy. I mean, so part of this is, of course, the jealousy of, I hate to get back to the to the subject of jealousy, but let's be real. The person on the other side of the window probably doesn't have that much money in their account. The average bank account in this country, I think, is under $2,000. So if you have a transaction, and of course the Patriot Act, I think, mandates that over $5,000 has to be reported to the government. You have a bigger transaction, everybody wants to get crazy and wants to get excited, and I have absolutely no idea why. I mean, he's in Atlanta. You know, the shocking thing about this is he's in Atlanta, Georgia, where there's a lot of black people sitting around with large sums of money doing business and engaged in all sorts of creative things that will involve transferring a hell of a lot more than $12,000. So this is a bank teller with too much time on their hands. I mean, it's crazy. And I don't know. I don't know what to say. The cops must have been like, what the hell is this about? Everybody's wearing a mask when they go in the bank, so everybody's used to that. This was back in January. I'm surprised we're just hearing about it now. But it's outrageous. It should have never happened in a trillion years.
I just, Kelly, I'm sure, I'm sure that black bank teller, I hope she don't tell nobody it was her.
I mean, I would take that to my grave. Like, you would take that out of me. An affidavit, sworn testimony, nothing. Like, that is going with me to my grave if I were that bank teller. Not just because I put a black man's life in danger. That's enough. But I don't know who Ryan Coogler is. Like, we missed that part. How do you not know who Ryan Coogler is? Especially, like, the Black Panther movie, Chadwick Boseman, all the things, Fruitvale Station, just like the blissful ignorance of it all is astounding to me. But that aside as well,
wrap together something special.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint. Paint supply.
So you're telling me there's some random person on the other end of this tube, takes your spare change, rounds it up to the nearest dollar, and buys Bitcoin for you?
Yeah, basically.
Give me 17 cents on Bitcoin.
Round up spare change into saving stocks of Bitcoin, and you use your Cash App card.
$12,000 at the counter. That just does not seem safe to me anyway. So for me, him asking the teller to do that, I would have thought that's protocol. I mean, I'm not balling like Robert that just had six-figure deposits up willy-nilly. I don't know those things. I'm not at his level yet. I'm going there, praise God. But until I get to that point, I don't know these things. So $12,000 at the counter when you got people behind you, that seems more unsafe than to go in the back and be in a more secure environment to count the money. So it's just messed up on so many levels. But primarily, how do you not know, as a black person, who Ryan Coogler is?
Well, first of all, look, I mean, Ryan ain't the most public person. He's not. He doesn't do tons of interviews, so it's very easy not to know who the hell Ryan Coogler is. It's not. The problem I have, though, is that, look, transactions happen in banks every single day. Right. This is real simple. You come up, you present a slip, you ask, this is what I want. They check to see if the money's in the account. You turn over the necessary identification to get your money, and then they hand you the money. That's
That's it. Real simple, not hard at all. So yeah, Bank of America, y'all screwed up big time here. All right, folks, I'm going to go to a quick break. We come back, we're going to talk for our Tech Talk segment with an entrepreneur about her unique concept when it comes to government, dollars, getting paid. You're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered right here on the Black Star Network. Glad I ain't got a Bank of America account. When did the damn woo-woo song just become, like, stupid crazy?
I came home, and I'm playing it around the house, you know, and my daughter was 3, Tiffany was 3 years old at the time. So I'll tell you how long ago.
Yeah.
And she kept walking by singing woo, and she said, man, I love that woo-woo song. And I'm like, you barely talk. That's not the woo-woo song. It's called You Should Be Mine. No, it's the woo-woo song. I called the songwriter and I said, my daughter said, this is the woo-woo song. They said, well, maybe she's right. So they kind of named it the You Should Be Mine, but in parentheses, called the woo-woo song, right?
Wow.
So the record company went out in the street with microphones in the city and had people sing woo-woo-woo. And people were going crazy over just singing, can you woo-woo-woo? And that song just blew up. And from then, now people call me the woo-woo man. I'm like the woo-woo man, exactly.
Hey, I'm done. Y'all, the Black-owned government payment platform has created a space for people to clear their debt without penalties. Promise partners with government agencies to help those with financial struggles pay off government debt. To explain how all this works, the CEO and co-founder of Promise, Phaedra Ellis-Lamkins, joins us from Oakland. Phaedra, how you doing?
Good. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
All right. So tell us, what's this Promise all about?
Promise is a way for people who have government debt to get interest-free installment plans. So the easiest way to think about it is you can't pay a water bill, and you're able to say, I can't pay it. And instead of having your water shut off, you can take 6 months to pay it off, and there's no interest.
So when you say government debt, so this is a local, state, local, county, state, federal, are there any limitations?
Excuse me. State and local government, so it's everything from water to child support to the criminal justice system. I want people to not face the consequences. And so instead of losing your license or losing your barber's license.
So hold tight 1 second. I'm going to do this here. I'm going to let you get a drink of water so you can clear something that's in your throat so you can be able to talk. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right back on the show. And so let's do this here. Okay, folks, I'm going to do this here. I'm going to talk about this story out of New Jersey. Then we're going to come back to Phaedra and talk about this here. So again, give her time to get her particular throat straight. A man in New Jersey, folks, of course, was involved in a hate crime. Now he is having to pay the price. Well, thank goodness he's having to pay the price. We told you yesterday where, of course, Kristen Clark was testifying before Congress about the situation that we're seeing in terms of hate crimes in this country. Is increasing in this country. We saw it go up dramatically under Donald Trump. Well, Michael Mariota pleaded guilty to making threatening interstate communications to a black Maryland woman and her family. He admitted he used an anonymous text messaging service to threaten physical harm and send racial epithets to describe the woman. According to a plea agreement, Mariota wrote, I know where you live now. I'm coming to rape your family and eat my bullets. He faces a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison. His sentencing is set for May 25th. Those are the type of things, again, that we are seeing where the Department of Justice is getting involved in targeting other different people. Let's go to Bridgeport, Connecticut, where the death of 2 women has gotten the attention of the state lawmakers. The Connecticut Judiciary Committee held a hearing today to discuss HB 5349. It's a bill requiring police to notify the family within 24 hours of the discovery of death or document document the reasons why the family or next of kin wasn't notified within that time frame. Lawrence Smith Fields and Brenda Lee Rawls died on December 12, 2021. Neither family was notified by any Bridgeport official of their deaths. That's unfortunately, we'll be covering those cases, and so hopefully that bill is going to move forward. All right, Phaedra, you good?
So much. I feel so much better. Thank you.
All right. So you were talking about promise and what the death, and they cover a wide variety of areas.
Yes. So we work with child support agencies, water agencies, and we basically say to them, rather than sending someone to collections or facing the consequences, that we should give people the time, and we provide software that allows government to offer interest-free payments. And so the same way that people have money, get to buy a Peloton interest-free, we think people who are struggling should have the same opportunities to have flexibility and not have consequences.
So is there an individual limit for people to participate?
There is not. The only requirement is that we have a relationship with the government, and that's everywhere from Louisville to Baltimore to Buffalo, and we work with those folks. But some people work with us in multiple places, and we find that's important because government debt has some of the most serious consequences, and so being able to offer that flexibility is critical.
So if someone owes $500, somebody owes $25,000. How do you determine if they get support? I mean, is there an approval process?
There's not. And so some of our clients owe $25,000. You might have large buildings, or you have a business that was impacted by COVID. We work with the government agency, and so usually the requirements are that you're behind, and we have a 93% repayment rate. And the reason we have such a high repayment rate is because most people don't want to face the consequences. You don't want to lose your driver's license. You don't want your electricity shut off. But income changes. It's volatile. And so we recognize that not everyone has the same amount of money per month. And so we can give governments predictability, but we give people options. So we only limit it when people don't succeed. But otherwise, we want people to have opportunity. And we think government should make it easy to pay their bills. Why would we make it hard for people to pay these bills? It doesn't make any sense, and to make it difficult. And in some cases, it used to be where you had to bring in your taxes, you had to come into an office to be able to put yourself on an installment plan. And that doesn't make sense, because for people who have money, it doesn't work that way.
Panel questions, Robert.
And so, where have you already rolled this out at? And what's been the response thus far when you reach out to partner with different agencies?
These are from the start. USDA choice ribeye must have cost a fortune, huh?
Oh, right. The lowest prices of any national grocery store. It's an Aldi thing.
Pronamel, clinical enamel strength, can help us to keep our enamel for a lifetime. It's backed by science. It is clinically proven to strengthen our teeth. I would recommend this toothpaste to everybody. It's really an amazing product.
Another overpriced phone bill? Stop overpaying and switch us to Tello. Who are you? I'm you from the future. Make the switch. Future you will thank you. Trust me. Start saving with Tello.com.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. GoodRx can save you a lot of money. So it puts less stress on our household, and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Save up to 80% on your prescriptions with GoodRx. Download the free app.
We're in places like California. We're in Alameda County, Marin County, Solano County, San Francisco, Long Beach, getting ready to try to work with Los Angeles. And so we're also in Cincinnati, we're in Milwaukee, we're in Richmond, Virginia, Alexandria, Virginia. So we're in pretty diverse areas. And the response is pretty good, because we're going to people and saying, you're behind. We want you to be able to make your payments and not face the consequences. And we see this a lot, get it now, pay later. And so we want that same flexibility for people. And so we've had a very positive response. We've been growing pretty rapidly because we can have a high repayment rate, give predictability to government, but also make the experience better for people who need support.
Kelly?
For plans?
If it doesn't happen already, I'm looking on the website. I just want to make clear, is this in all 50 states? Are you able to serve all 50 states yet? And if you're not, what is the plan to do that so that everybody can get this kind of help?
That's a great question. We're trying to go as quickly as possible. We're just limited by a sales cycle, how quickly we can onboard people. And so we're in most states, but not in every state. And it really requires that the government agree to work with us. And so part of what we've been trying to do is to put pressure on governments to say, you know, we're in the midst of a pandemic, no one should be having their water shut off. Where the consequences are mostly Black and brown people. It is not acceptable that, you know, when you look at the people impacted by losing their driver's license, it tends to be an entryway into the criminal justice system. And so we are not in every state, but in most states.
Lauren?
So is there any restrictions with regard to income, like you serve everyone, whether rich or poor? And also, you said Richmond and Alexandria. Obviously, Alexandria is pretty affluent, and Richmond isn't. Are you, you know, what has been? Have you noticed that in the results with regard to payment, or has it mattered any? These affluent areas. What can you say about that?
Thanks so much. It depends on where we are. In some places, we've seen traditionally affluent areas that have been impacted pretty significantly by COVID. And so people who were kind of one paycheck away from poverty have lost that paycheck. And we're definitely seeing a large group of those people. Our repayment rate tends to be actually very high with people who are low income. And the reason is because people just don't get treated with dignity, respect, and flexibility. And so the worst thing that happens if someone doesn't pay us is we send them back to the government. And so people appreciate that and have been very, very respectful and responsive. And we're rooting for people's success. And so we try to do something called self-attestation, which is where someone can say, this is what my income is, instead of trying to have someone prove it. And that's worked really well. In a couple of places, we did self-attestation, and we retained the right to audit, which means if anyone ever came back to us, we could come back and ask you to verify that. And in 2 places, we had an audit because it was federal money, and both came through pretty flawlessly because people tend to not lie about what their income is, and they still have to pay it back. And so it's been pretty impressive, but we don't see a significant difference between kind of affluent areas or people that have been COVID impacted versus people who have not. And a lot of what we see is seniors who are on a fixed income who have been trying to make decisions, as an example, every month, which bill to pay. So there's just not enough money to pay every bill every month. So we have to build payment systems that recognize that, right? There's just, people are struggling to make it. And we can't assume that everyone has the same amount of money every month. We have to build systems that recognize that income is variable and that people need support, and that the people who are struggling need it the most.
All right, then. Phaedra, great idea, great concept, and we certainly appreciate you coming on the show to explain it.
Happy to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
All right, thanks a bunch. All right, folks, so we're going to close the show out today. Oh, Lord.
Thank you. Take care.
This fool out of Georgia. Now, I don't know, I already told y'all, Vernon Jones is really just one of the dumbest people you ever seen in your life. I mean, dumb. He is a Catholic. So, he used to be a Democrat, now he claims he's a Republican. So, he was not happy, y'all, recently when they had an event in Jackson County because he didn't like the damn speaking order. Y'all want to see a grown-ass black man show his ass? Here is this fool, Vernon Jones, out of Georgia.
Got a lot of places around here, so it's good to have you here. Go right ahead. In all fairness, I came here because I'm sincere. I came here because I'm a fighter. I came here to earn your support. But I'm not going to be subjected to politics. Now, I was selected to be the second person. Mike Collins was supposed to go first. And you're all now trying to change. Let me finish. I'm going to finish this real quick, Vernon. No, I don't finish this real quick. You're here as a guest. They don't want me to tell y'all. You are here as a guest, sir. You're going to listen to what I'm going to say. I'm an hour and a half behind. I'm not making $1. Everybody's here because they want to watch people speak. Give your stuff. Let's go. As I said, they're playing politics. That's what's going to happen. Now, let's not play politics. I'm not going to do that. I don't play games like that. You know what to do. So, you're not going to do it like that. Okay. I'm sorry this happened, but I don't play games like that. I'm here because I came here because I'm here about everyone. My time slot was 8:30. I was here before 8:30, and I was told well in advance that I would be the second person after Mike Collins. Now, they changed the rules on me. Now, if y'all don't think being fair is being fair, then that's fine. I'm not going to subject myself to this. That's not right.
He does have the right not to speak if you want not to, so don't hold against him.
Robert, that's your boy from Georgia.
Hey, look, y'all ain't about to play around with Vernon. Vernon let these people know he can be down in Jackson County. I'll be damned if I be in a room full of maggots in Jackson County, Georgia after sundown making a fuss. But that's who Vernon is. I met Vernon in 2002. He was a speaker at freshman orientation at Clark, Atlanta that year, and we got into an argument within 6 seconds of meeting. This is just who Vernon is. Vernon always going to be Vernon. So no matter what, he is consistent. And look, I hope he got out of there before the sun went down and got back to Metro Atlanta. So more power to him.
Lauren, go ahead.
You know, I never thought that I would be saying this, Roland. Okay. But I've been working in politics since I was 13. My mother worked for a politician in New York, and I worked for that politician. I was like 14, 15 years old. And I got to tell you, there is nothing more obsessive than speaking order at political events. I have seen people melt down time and time again over speaking order. I've seen people melt down over, oh my God, the vice president or Barack Obama is going to speak at this thing, and I want to speak at it, and I've got to speak at it, and it's got to be at 8:30. I mean, I've seen this before. So even though I know Vernon Jones is nuts, I kind of feel for him a little bit, because I've seen this behind the scenes multiple times, and it's just the weirdest thing. People are obsessed with speaking order when they speak, and then if they get skipped over, they flip out. And I've seen grown-ass adults flip over this multiple times. So it's kind of funny just watching it, because it's just one of these things. I could write a small impulse buy book over the times I've seen people flip out on speaking order.
Kelly, I don't feel for that punk ass Vernon Jones at all. At all.
I mean, it was the people leaving in the background for me. Like, they didn't even care whether he was going to speak or not. And that's so typical local politics, to just kind of leave when you want to leave and come in when you want to come in. The irony is not lost on me that allegedly he arrived on CP time and still wanted his slot, allegedly. If you heard the tape, it said that, the thing started at 7, but because he was supposed to speak at 8:30, he felt like he could come in late. Clearly, these color-redacted people do not do CP time. So, that's the way the cookie crumbles, Mr. Jones. Either speak or leave, and he decided to leave.
Oh, man. It's just so funny to watch that. I mean, it's just so crazy.
Look, he stuck to his guns, and look, as I said, I don't think any of us will be down in Jackson County speaking. And look, the GOP wanted to reach out to minority voters and stuff, so they got to accept CP time now. When you open up the tent, we still gonna get there when we get there.
And
the GOP has this affinity for these dumb black candidates. These Herschel Walker, Larry Elder, dumb, and basically their only talent is to attack other black people. That's their value to the Republicans. And of course, Vernon Jones does that really well. I mean, it's just, he's a child. But then, that's who they want in there, and that's what they got. They deserve each other.
Well,
I mean, it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate that, conservative black people have been relegated to the furthest side of the spectrum of stupidity. Right. when you have people who are reasonable black Republicans who cannot get that kind of time.
And they can't,
with white supremacy.
And
that's really unfortunate of it.
And real black Republicans can't stand these grifted ass folk like Vernon Jones, Candace Owens, Brandon Tatum,